Hello there, and welcome back to another episode from the Welsknight Patreon server. This is Mar here. I am standing here right outside the Nether Hub. We're still in Season 3. We haven't reset the server yet. Right now, we're just waiting on Update 113 to come along. And once it does, we can reset the server and test out all the... Well, not test out, because testing's pretty much over almost at this point, but we can play the new content, which is, I'm really excited about it, really excited about it. So for now, we're still on Season 3, behind me is the Season 3 Nether tunnel for the north, my tunnel's back there, as well as a lot of other players. All of the tunnels have a lot of players, but this one seems to be one of the more full ones. At this point, we've done the official server tour with Wells, and he'll be posting the results of that. Either he will have already by the time this video goes up, or he will be shortly. And I still have a couple things left that I want to record, one of which is right here in the Nether Hub. So let's get at it. So, North Tunnel. Come out. This is the Nether Hub. It was started by another member of the community, Obs. He did the vast majority of it, like the walls, the arches, not the banners. This is something that was thrown up kind of last minute after the server tour, like after the official server tours took place. I mainly came in on the last day or two just to finish up what was left, because we were running out of time, and Obs had started these staircases. 3 of them anyway. He had started 3. Originally we were going to have 1 in each of the 4 corners around the beacons, but he only had 3 of them going at the times, and I didn't have time to finish it all, and I didn't even have close to enough resources. So I ended up tearing 2 of them down, and I just went with 1 full completed staircase. I also did the dome. We can use the Optifine zoom in. The glass is pretty much where I started, because that's concrete powder up there. A lot of that is concrete powder, and so I did the dome. I put the W on the ceiling. That's the opening to the above hub. You can just barely make out the edge of the bedrock up there. A lot of people have teased me that it's an M for Mar. I'm like, no, it's a W for Welsknight. This looks like a W. This kind of looks like the McDonald's sign. I don't know. Some people said, oh, it's like a 3 or an E, but no, it's definitely a W. Very clearly a W. So this is one of the things that I contributed towards building in my time here on the server. There's a couple things. See, I think it's the east and west tunnels I helped with. Take a little short trip down here. No, I think maybe it's the south and west tunnels. Let's try the south first. Yeah, this looks familiar. Okay, so I didn't build the municipal district is down here. I didn't build the municipal district, but I did finish the hallway here. There was some quartz already laid in, if I remember correctly, and the floor wasn't finished either. I just came in and finished up that, made sure the lighting was adequate, put in little ice path. So I finished this tunnel. That's one thing I did. And then over in the west tunnel was something I did that was a little more involved. And I also had help. Originally, out here in the hub, I can't remember which of the 4 corners it was, but another member of the community, History West, had built it was kind of like a recovery station where, like, you die, you come and you can get some really basic tools and armor and whatnot. Originally it had just been piled in like chests along one of these portals. I can't remember which one. But he kind of, heated up. But then when Obs was in here building the staircases, or initially it was going to get in the way of the staircases. Of course, as it turned out, I ended up tearing down all but one staircase anyway. But by that point, the recovery station was already gone. So I recreated that over here. And this is the recovery station. These are actually the remnants of what History West had, and what had initially been against one of the portals. So this is just what left. So we got free fish, free tools, free armor, free potions and ender pearls, crafting table, ender chest, and one more free armor. So this is, not sure. Realistically, we could almost fit all this in one chest, but some of these are pretty good. Like, that's not, I mean, for starter, like, considering you just died, this isn't that bad. You got a little unbreaking, some protection, thorns. Well, that's got curse of binding on it. That's really good. I think this is, I mean, History of Pants is what it's named, so I'm pretty sure this is one of Wes's original pieces of armor that he used for himself. That's not bad, too. In fact, if you took this one, and you took that one and combined them, that'd actually be a pretty decent set of armor. You get projectile protection 4, unbreaking 3, and thorns 2. So that's not bad at all. I was trying to fit in... Actually, I'm surprised it's still there. I think I forgot to take it out. I was trying to fit in more of... this prismarine here. It didn't... It was too busy, essentially. It was way too busy at the time. Like, if you look at the pattern, I mean, if you imagine this a lot in this small space, especially when you're going in a tunnel, so it's kind of like close on the sides anyway, it would just end up being way too much, I think. So I went with more of the nether brick variety. I actually put iron blocks down here because there was a lot of that in the shopping district. What there is? Okay, so fun fact. Over here. These are just remnants of crafting, of general junk actually, but I hid it so that it wouldn't be there for the server tour. If you come way up here, somewhere, no, not there, here. No, maybe it is up here. Yeah, blaze spawner. So they like to spawn in, which can be inconvenient if they manage to find like a surface that they can spawn on. I'm pretty sure they can spawn here, for example, and then just fall down in, and then path out. Yeah, so we also put in the little, what would you call this, like, oh, what is the word? You know, you go into, like, let's say you're in space in, like, a hydroponics bay type thing. That's what I'm thinking of. So we got some saplings, got some flowers, this was already up. This and the walls were already up for most of it. The floor was just glass, and you could see right down into the nether brick wall, or nether brick surface floor beneath us, which wasn't really what I wanted, you know? But I don't know. I think it turned out okay, I think. I really like the red nether brick. I really like the red nether brick. It's just I had no idea that normal nether brick was so hard to craft, and then turning into red nether brick after that is just so involving. But yeah, this is History West's Resurrected Recovery Station, and Joe helped me build this. It was his idea to replace the all of the prismarine with more bricky stuff. He also came up with the idea of this sort of a thing here. He wanted to put the ice in somewhere. I wasn't sure because if we put it in the path, it'd be right next to these lights, and this is a 4-wide tunnel, so a center lane of ice wouldn't really work. So I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but he came up with this, and it turns out I think it turned out really nice. And actually, most of the tunnels I think use normal ice. This is actually packed ice, so the light wouldn't have been a problem. It's just that most of them were using normal ice, I think. This one is a little, you can see I'm just kind of tapping my button, but it keeps sliding. It's underneath the slabs, which doesn't actually help, I don't think. It just makes me feel like I'm going through molasses. But yeah, so this is one thing I helped design. That other tunnel I showed you, finished up the hub. I actually, you know, let's go up. Let's go up real quick, just real quick. I wish glass came in slabs, because this is a hassle. Oh my goodness. So much jumping. My toes are bruised from all the jumping. I'm pretty sure I skinned my shins a few times. We keep just going up and up and up and up. The glass panes. Obs had started the staircase and he was using glass panes. They're kind of tricky to get onto though, because sometimes the hitbox is kinky with them. It's a little unusual. Up here I put in, I think this is quartz too. It looks like it. I put that in just to like block up the ugly bits on the other sides. At this level, we've got the bedrock, so it's kind of weird trying to build around that. This kind of uncomfortably switches to powder because I ran out of quartz. That leads to a ladder that also comes up here from down below. And then over here, there's the hole, and you can come up here. This was already in place too. And this is the above hub. So, I'll go back down and swing around. Whee! Now, let's go to Spawn Town. There's one thing I want to show at Spawn Town, and there's one thing I want to show at the Spawn Indication. I think it's this way. My house, I originally built it, it was really dirty, and then right before I recorded my most recent and my first ever video, is what I'm trying to say. Right before I did that, I actually recorded myself destroying and rebuilding my start house, and then I accidentally deleted the video. Whoops, noob. But I did want to show you what I came up with. The original one was like my attempt at a modern house, but it was built out of wood, and it looked so terrible. I got this idea from Stina's house when I was helping her name books for her castle library. And someone came up with Sir Wells and the Knights of the Square Table, and I was like, you know what, we need a big version of that. I think that'd be a cool idea. So I built this huge table, this square table, and there's a book on it. And we can do a flyover later. Hey, Ty. And you can go inside Mar-Evayave's redesigned starter house. So it's small, it's pretty compact. Oops. Got a little kitchen crafting area. Maybe in a bit. Just doing a little recording. I'm hungry too. And you can come upside into the book itself. And a couple of the parts of the spine have glass in them, which you can totally tell from the outside, but I think it still looks okay. And then you come up here, you got a little seating area, and then over here you can look out into the harbor. So, this was a lot of fun. Kind of interesting trying to build inside, considering the pages are made out of concrete powder. Hi, Stina. But I think it turned out pretty well, all things considering, especially since the base is just a box. Oh, server, come on. Please. There we go. Alright, let's see. Let's take a flyover. So that's my house, or my book house. So let's come out here a little bit. Whee! Alright. See if I can't kill some of my momentum. And, oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. Woo! Lag. I want to come a little over here. Better angle. I just want a picture for like the thumbnail or whatever. Maybe I'll get one later. Because I can't seem to get a good angle because it's kind of hard to get up there and then hold a decent position when you're in flight and when the server is lagging with the rockets being kind of inconsistent. Well, I'll get one later. Anyway, moving on. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have pictures somewhere of that build from last time I recorded when I was actually building it. So let's go over to spawn in location. If I can find my way back to the portal. I always get lost when I'm trying to find the portal again. If I leave the main road, I'm so hard to find it again. Here we are. Now the spawn-in location is actually really close by. I just can't remember which direction it is in, so I'm just gonna go this way. And this recovery station is conveniently right at the spawn-in hub, or portal. So it's a really quick trip. And in we go. Alright, so this was originally a very large iron golem farm, which was ended up being torn down because I don't think anybody was using it. And we have a gold farm anyway, way out there, like along the coast, but in the water. And then the chunks, I think the mods reloaded the chunks or whatever, and someone said, can anybody come and decorate? So I was like, sure, I'll do that. So I put some trees up, put some bushes, bone mealed a lot of stuff. What is that still here for? No, I think that's remnant from, look, subscribe, Pandora, Loki. I can't tell because he's standing in grass, and like. These were, I'm pretty sure one of the mods put these here too for when we did the Wells server tour, like the official one. So I put trees in, bushes, bone meal. This was already there, so I left that alone. I built this welcome board, newbie notice board, with some basic instructions, you know, free horse if you need one, some food and tools or weapons. I put in the stable itself before these guys were just in a little pen. I built this, which I think turned out pretty well. Let's see if I can't get back here for a better view of it. So this is based on something that I saw a tutorial on how to build in Terraria, and I actually have a sign with the credits down at the base, which we can go look at. It's quite a bit different from the version in Terraria. The Terraria one's supposed to be like a bottle with, like, the spout of the bottle would be here, and then this thing here is actually another bottle, I think, so it's like a bottle with another bottle. And these are supposed to be like vines, tipping it over, I guess. And it was based on Rulik 15's Overflowing Space, is what he called it. And it looks, I highly recommend anybody to go and check out that video, because it was fantastic watching him build it. And this is just my interpretation of it in a Minecraft setting. And then the last thing I want to show, down along this path I built, is a little kind of derpy harbor or something like that, boat dock. I built the bridge here, and then I built this little shack thing. These right here, this blue was already here, I think from the start of server, and I think someone put this sign here ages ago because swimming is for noobs, so lots of boats. And if you come over here, spawn town, whoops, and by extension, the market district and all that is this way, if you follow these yellow and black pillars. So yeah, that's essentially all of the public builds I worked on, as well as my spawn house. Pretty much the only other things I did on the server was helping build a lot at Stina's base, and I also built Aletha a temple, a water temple. But this is pretty much the extent of it. I was only here for about 3 months, 2.5 months, something like that, before the server tour occurred. But I think it's pretty good for the time. So, thanks for joining me, and I'll see ya possibly not until the next season starts, because right now there's not a whole lot to do on the server while we wait for a reset. There's not much point in starting new builds, considering it's going to reset potentially at any moment. So this might be the last you hear from me, but I do plan on being back once 1.13 launches. So I will see you then. Look forward to it. Bye!